Here's a little Jete Gung to help you all connect with your Jupiter energy. All of us have the planets in our aura or energetic electromagnetic field. And this electromagnetic field constantly is being recalibrated and reorganized as the cosmology of our planets recalibrates and reorganizes itself. So we are very much energetic beings, and our energetic vortex is very much influenced by the planetary cycles. So Jupiter is a planetary cycle that affects our solar plexus as well as our golden arc line that is from ear to ear above our head. So when Jupiter has its cycles, very much like moon cycles, all of the planets have their unique moon cycle, we could say, when it comes to the energy that is high, the energy that is subtle, the energy that is very still. All of the planets go through this. Jupiter is very much about the cycles of vitality, because that is the solar plexus, as well as the golden arc line. The golden arc line, which we could say is our crown chakra as well, it represents the cycles that are helping us to understand higher wisdom. So that has to do with you could say the halo. The halo represents our understanding of higher wisdom. So as Jupiter goes through its cosmology changes or arrangements with other planets, very much we could see it in our birth chart. Jupiter has its dance with all of the planets. Okay, it's called a geometric shape or form. And that geometric shape or form is created by the lines of energy or the angles of energy that constantly are being shifted around or reorganized as the planets enter into new phases and new cycles, and it's very complex. So looking at our birth chart, we're very much looking at a picture of the moment when we were born, the cosmology arrangement, okay? And it had its unique mandala, and that mandala had a unique resonance and vibration. And vibration and resonance, it's always updating itself. Always, very much like our phones and like the computer. It's always wanting to update itself as things get modified, refined, removed, improved, and that's very much like the planets. In the moment we're born, snippet, there's a picture of our birth and a picture of our map given to us. So the energy that is going to help us, or the mandala, the resonance, the vibration that we are destined to refine, modify, remove, improve in this lifetime. So it's very dynamic and it's very complex, but to simplify it, the Jupiter, okay, it helps us when it goes through its phases and cycles like the moon, okay, we talk about it enters into different plays of dance with the different planets. It creates a mandala or lines of energy or angles of energy. When you look at a mandala or geometric shape, what do you see? You see lines and angles creating a form, a resonance, a vibration. So Jupiter helps us with understanding higher wisdom, which has to do with the arc line. So giving us access, giving us tools, giving us energy that can help us to understand something that may be very complex, that may be very esoteric, but can be very very helpful in helping us to break through challenges or break through blocks, to have a breakthrough in our overall life. And as well as the solar plexus has to do with our vitality, which is our resource of energy, our reserve of energy. So Jupiter is very magnetic. So when we are very magnetic, what do we kind of emit? Well, we emit higher wisdom, which is the arc line, and called that little halo. Those people who tend to be very magnetic have kind of like a halo, and it's called authentic expression. That's the little halo. It's called authenticity, where you are streaming your energy in pure integrity and dignity, and you're considered a very impactful manifester, creative being. That's kind of like the halo, and it just represents we have a lot of radiance around us. Now, when we're very vital in our solar plexus, what are we also? We're very physically radiant. Physically radiant. Meaning we have this glow to our body. We have this glow to our embodiment. Meaning we have a nice circulation. We have a nice revitalization of our energy. So when we get blocked, when we get tight, when we get stiff, when we get accumulative, basically our energy gets slow, gets sluggish. And velocity is also about Jupiter. It's velocity, meaning it's quick, fast-moving, circulating energy. And that's the electromagnetic field. Because this universe is very quick and it's very, very fast. That's what eternity. That's like we talk about the past, present, and future. It's very quick. It's very fast. But how we slow it down, we could say, is through full presence. That's when we become this timeless being that is a radiant being, using the velocity of their vitality, their revitalization, to use time in their favor, such as the past, the present, and the future. Use time in their favor. Use time in their favor, right here and now. That stops the clock, we could say. Use time in their favor, where we get to experience what we call ecstasy or nirvana. And it's subtle. It's not some climbing up the Himalayas. I can't say it. I'm tongue-tied. But you guys understand. We don't have to climb some mountain to reach it. It could be very subtle. It's internally. It's an internal full presence, full revitalization that brings us this timelessness, this deathlessness, this datlessness, where we are fully integrated in the embodiment of our creative mission or creative spark or creative knowing trust in ourselves and in our divinity. Okay, so Jupiter, Jai Gong, that's very much, Jupiter helps us to bless ourselves. So when we're radiant, what are we? We're very blessed. To be very radiant is to be very blessed, because radiance is how you attract without slipping into the slums of desperation or manipulation. So it's a blessing to be radiant. It's a blessing to be magnetic, because that means you are going to attract things just naturally and not have to force or manipulate things to get what you want, which is the common thing that people do because they're not radiant or magnetic. So Jupiter is very much a blessing. It also represents good fortune. So again, solar plexus and the crown, they are good fortune. When you're connected to higher wisdom, you are very blessed. You have very good luck because you know what to do intuitively. You know what not to do. So you have this precognitive corrective action. That is higher wisdom. So you just know what to do and what not to do. So that makes you very lucky because you're at the right place at the right time. Okay, you're the right place at the right time. So that's Jupiter. And that also has to do with the solar plexus. You're lucky when you're very vital, meaning you can change. Those people with no energy, they can't change. They can't change because they don't have the energy to make the change. It's like changing the direction of a boat. It takes a lot of maneuvering because it takes a lot of energy to make that change from one current where the boat is literally in a momentum of this direction and now all of a sudden changing gears and you're going in an entirely different momentum of energy. It requires energy to make that. So with vitality, revitalization of the solar plexus, we are adaptable, we are mobility, and that is also very radiant. When a person is mobility, they're very radiant because they're not ever out of date. So when we get rigid, when we get tight, when we get stiff, we get out of date. And the cosmos, like I said, the universe is very fast, very quick. It's like the speed of light. Velocity is very, very quick. So when we are very much stiff and rigid, and you say set in our ways, dogmatic in our beliefs, and just unmovable, what happens? When the cosmos reaches a shift where we have to make it, we have to get on it, we can't because we're so out of date. We don't know how. Because we haven't updated ourselves, so we totally don't understand what we're supposed to do. Because we're so out of date. We're so out of date in our energy that we don't know what to do. We don't know how to do it. Because we don't understand what we're being asked to do. Because we're not up to date with the times and the times of the universe and what it's calling for planet Earth at this time, So Jupiter, it gives us this luck where we're up to date, we're lucky, we're blessed, and we're also connected to like the guru or the teacher. So if you want to connect with your guru, your teacher, it's the Jupiter. Look at the Jupiter in your chart. Jupiter, okay? It's going to help you understand in what area do you need like a guru or a teacher, okay? Because we all need a teacher in our life in certain areas. Okay, we may be really excellent at this area, but we really need help in this area. Okay, so we become the learner, the student. That's the Jupiter relationship to the guru. And then we become the teacher and we teach. That's also Sagittarius. We're masterful. We love to learn. We love to learn. We love to expand. And then when we come into like a mastery, then we teach and we share. So that's the good, we could say the good blessing of Jupiter. Is through learning, we become very masterful, we become a teacher, and we give it. We give the blessing to others. So it isn't just we're blessed by Jupiter, we are creating a blessing. Through being blessed, we create a blessing by sharing the blessing, sharing what we've learned from the guru, from the teacher in life to other people to help them be blessed, and therefore they can create blessings in their life and can keep the continuity of blessing, okay, which is the Jupiter expansion. Jupiter wants to expand its teaching to everyone, not just one or two or group of people. Jupiter is so expansive, it wants to touch everyone. It wants to touch everyone, okay? So that's the Jupiter. Jai Gong is very much a way for us to channel the Jupiter into our physical body. So if we want to heighten or emphasize Jupiter, either in our birth chart, either in our life, either we just want to kind of create more magnetism in our energetic field, Jai Gong is a way for us to create a more energetic oomph, energetic oomph. Because those who have that oomph, there's something unique about them. You're just drawn to them and you don't know why, but you just feel just something interesting. They're extraordinary. And it's not what they say, it's what they do. It's just, they could just sit there. They're just extraordinary. And that's that Jupiter oomph. That oomph. They got something about them kind of thing, like a glow. So that is the blessing where we just attract things into our vortex and not have to, sleep our way to the top kind of thing, So Jai Gong, we're just going to do a little practice of it. So Jai Gong, this is my own kind of, we say basic tool, basic tool to help you connect with the amazing, outstanding, spectacular Jupiter energy that's very much like the Sagittarius, very playful, very much wants to kind of be sarcastic and not take everything seriously. Because they know seriousness is stiffness. Stiffness is no good. So It's kind of like play. It's kind of like a little sarcasm going on with yourself. So it keeps you always fluid instead of stiff. Okay, so this is what we're going to practice. We're going to repeat after me. Jete gong, jete gong, jete gong. 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 Feel the vibrato. Jete gong, jete gong, jete gong. 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 Inhale. Hold the breath. Pull up Mula Bandha, sex organ, rectum, navel, tongue on the upper palate. Feel the resonance, the vibration, the play, the knowledge, the understanding, the expansion, the radiance, the magnetism, the blessing, the good fortune, the luck, synchronicity. Exhale. There you go. So that's kind of a beat. It's on a beat. It's kind of on a marching beat. So if you really wanting to put this in your embodiment, get it into your body, you can march while you chant. Okay, so you find your rhythm. So it's not like a fast march, it's a rhythmic march, like a beat. Jete gong, jete gong, jete gong. So you just kind of, your leg up and down and up and down and up and down, like your little march, okay? So that will help you to get into the march of, so if you've been in a stream of energy that is very much not good luck, where you're in a stream of energy that's not good fortune kind of thing, this can help you to get on a stream of fortunate events. Fortunate events. We don't want poor, unfortunate events. We want fortunate events. So Jete Gong is very much an esoteric teaching. It's very old, very, very ancient, but it's been used to basically help us get in a stream of fortunate events. It's helped the guru learn from, or it's helped the student learn from the guru so that the guru can be the best guru, so he can be the best teacher, okay? So we are a teacher to ourselves, okay? And then we be a teacher to others, and others are a teacher to ourselves as well. So thank you, and I hope that this will help you to get magnetic so you can begin to actually connect with a spiritual power rather than a manipulation power. What is a manipulation power? Is you don't know how to manifest, you don't know what it means to manifest, you don't know authenticity, and only toolkits you have in your little tool pouch is poverty, desperation, lack mentality, moodiness, attitude that is entitlement, that's self-important, that can be very selfish, very much about yourself, and therefore you don't have the impact. When you are such things, you don't have an impact. We have a lot of people that do not impact the generation. So we have a generation, my generation younger, and there isn't really anybody that's leaving an impact, either in film, either in music, I'm talking about impact is what brings a generation into its victory, not a generation into its we're getting high and drunk. That is not an impact on a generation. Impact leads a generation into victory, whatever that may be. Victory over the technology age. Okay, or back in the day with Martin Luther King, a generation of victory over, we could say, segregation. Victory over segregation. For, you could say, a generation of just division and that kind of thing. Okay, so the generation is victory over the technology age, not slipping into drugs and alcohol. So film, music, and any, that's kind of having a pull or effect on the generation, a lot of times is just, more of the downward slope. So that's what impact, that's what radiance, that's what Jete Gong does. It helps us to create an impact that brings victory to the generation. That's true impact. And manipulation, poverty, desperation, self-importance, selfishness, entitlement, greed, all of those kinds of things that are based on a lack of intuition and a disconnect with manifestation, which is inherent to every single person on this planet. It's, here you go, but if you don't know how to use it, then, okay, good luck. It's like, good luck, may the luck be, good luck, okay? This is when you're just running around, just doing whatever, mayhem, just to get a quick buck or something like that. And that's what we have. So Jete Gong is like, let's connect with radiance, magnetism, so we don't need to do that kind of stuff to get what we want. We can get what we want through the Jupiter, which is being masterful, teacher, whatever it is we're wanting to do. It's becoming very educated, very knowledgeable in what it is we want to do. And that takes experience. That takes perception and perspective change. So everybody is wanting something overnight, and that's not Jupiter. Jupiter's like, you need to have experience. You need to have education. You need to have knowledge. You need to have momentum. So a month of trying something and then expecting something is not momentum. Like a boat. It gains momentum when it keeps going down that course. And then it basically can go on its own. And that's the JT Gong. You get into the momentum. You play it, you practice, and there it just keeps going. It's like a mantra. Like, once you really install it, you can hear it even when it's not playing. You can hear it just randomly. You'll be driving, and all of a sudden JT Gong will come up. Or you'll be walking your dog, all of a sudden JT Gong comes up. Or it'll be like you haven't played it in a while, and all of a sudden JT Gong comes up. That means that it is streaming in your energy, and you're on that current, you're on that momentum. But we don't just get on it for a day and then expect it to just be installed. That's not proper integration. And that's what the young people, it's like a month, it didn't happen, and that means, no, it's integration. And how do we get integrated? It's through experience, it's through challenge, it's through passing tests, it's through worth. You have to hold your worth, you have to hold your dignity. If you want something, you can't just be, slipping into the low self-worth and just going for whatever's available. No, that's not worth. Okay, you have to have a bit high reverence for yourself. And these are all the Jupiter energies. That's all the Jupiter energy is. And that gives you a momentum, and that momentum, it basically will carry you. You still got to practice, but when you really get installed and integrate, it will carry you. It will carry you on the stream of fortunate events, okay? That doesn't mean you won't be challenged, because anything about learning is challenging, because it implies you're entering into a new horizon. You're entering into a zone that you're not familiar with. So when you're entering into a zone you're not familiar with, that's the greatest challenge, but that's a great expansion, because it pressures you. Like when you're learning algebra and you really have no clue about math in general, that really pressures you. It really pressures you to think in a new pattern. And whenever you introduce a new pattern, your embodiment expands. Whenever you keep the same pattern over and over again, and you're just decades the same pattern, you don't expand at all. That's what you call flatline life. It's like, flatline, that kind of thing. And that's not Jupiter. Jupiter is like, you learn, you're pressured to learn. You got to sit down, you got to learn algebra, and you have no idea about general math, but you got to learn algebra. But that's what expands you. So that's why Jupiter, it gives us the blessing. So whenever we're challenged, it blesses us. It gives us the blessing to basically help us get through it. It gives us it blesses your journey into the new horizon, into the uncomfortable zone. It blesses your journey because it knows it will be challenging, it will be difficult, depending on how resistant and how basically accustomed you are to learning new things. So if you get into an energy momentum of being very comfortable with learning new things, challenging things such as algebra, all the way to art, all the way to science, all the way to music. I mean, we're talking about diversity of knowledge. That is what's going to help you to win. That time comes when you have to learn something and you have to learn it. You are not sitting back and, I don't want to be challenged. I don't want to be in difficulty. I don't want to be pressured. And then just kind of don't learn the thing, but that thing is precious towards your overall knowledge that's going to help you get more fortunate events. Okay? So that's JT Gong. It blesses your life. It blesses your journey so that when you are faced with something that's challenging, something that's difficult, that pressures you to learn something very quickly, or just to learn something that you have no idea, you're not sitting there, no. You're very much like, okay, I have the blessing to sit down and do my best. Okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with these thoughts. And JT Gong is also the 2019 year, so play it, get it installed in your aura. in your embodiment, because 2019, it will give you a momentum that you need. So 2019 to 2024 is a year of, if you're on the momentum, you'll experience great transformation. Okay, I'm talking about prosperity, because Gung and Jupiter is also about prosperity. And that's the solar plexus. Whoever's vital, the prosperity flows to you. Okay? Whoever's not, prosperity becomes a game of manipulation. Okay? A game of steal, trick kind of thing. So, and that's where the game is changing. So we want you to get on that momentum of prosperity early on, because when we, especially mentioned this before with Pluto, and we had this Capricorn, is there's going to be a lot of destruction. Okay, destruction of just institutional models that are basically our foundation. And what that means is our health system, that's institutional model. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them. And then we have all other, when it comes to education, all of these things, they're going to be reaching a destruction, or reaching a point where you need to transform. You need to transform. You have to transform. It's not an option, because Pluto says it is evolutionary necessity to transform. Meaning evolution is a big word. It's huge. It says you have to, for you must evolve. It's not a question. It's not I'll try it tomorrow, or next month, next year, next decade. No, it's, if you want, you have to evolve, because it is required. And that's Pluto. It's very serious. It's like you must evolve. And that's what's happening in Capricorn until 2024, saying you have to evolve your institutional models. Health system, education, you have to. It's not other planets be like, just you can invite new ideas, and it can be a subtle shift. And no, this is very evolutionary necessity. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're thinking of 2019 and 2024. It's evolutionary necessity for these institutions, okay, to basically be transformed. Their foundational ideas must evolve if we are going to basically move forward. If you don't evolve, you don't move forward. And that goes for everything on this planet. Okay, so thank you.